First things first, bumper caps come off both ends. It's gonna be the perfect spot to store your sewer hose. You're pre-wired for a backup camera. All you have to do is buy the camera, which comes with the screen and the kit, and we can install that for you if you'd like. Cable hookup for satellite and for cable. You can close it and run the cables through here, keep everything nice and neat. Your main water hookup. So you hook your hose up to here. When this valve is pointing like that, there's even a chart. You're running off a city. Rotate it this way, it'll fill your fresh tank up for you. And there's a fresh tank vent, so if it overflows, it'll start squirting out of there. Got a black tank flush, hook your hose up there. It'll flush out your black tank, get all the nasties out of there. Then you have an outdoor shower. Hook up the hose to it, run the outdoor shower. All your seals around your slide out, you want to make sure you take care of those at least once a year. Recommend doing a slide out maintenance. What we do is we just spray on with seal conditioner, wipe that off, keep the seals from drying out. Got your intake for your fridge and your exhaust. The only thing you folks have to do is make sure everything in here stays clean. Spider webs, bees nests, mud daubers, such things like that. Vent for your stovetop, for your range vent. Just pop it open, keep it open. That'll allow the stuff to vent out, but when you're traveling, clip it back in place. That way it's not flopping. Exhaust for your furnace. Just keep it clean, just like everything else. Water heater, pretty simple to use. When you're ready to use it, just throw your anode rod in the plug. Get it hand tight at first, and then it's an 1 1/16 socket. Run it tight, but not too tight. Over here, you have your button for it on electric, so just flip it on to on, and then you're running on electric. There is a button inside you have to turn on too, and we'll get to that. Before you take your plug out to drain it, and I recommend draining it after every trip, pull your pressure relief. Water will come out. Let it all come out until it stops. Snap it closed again, and then you can pull your plug out. If not, you're gonna get a hot bath. Your 2 sewer drains. So this one is gonna be your gray tank. This one will be your black and gray. This handle's for your gray. That's for your black. You can see that right there. These two are low point drains. So that's going to be the lowest point of the water system. If you want to open those and get some water out. And if you see the one over there, that's your fresh tank drain. Right there. Little storage on your slide. Manual backup crank for your tongue jack. And this is the hose that you hook up to your outdoor shower. And here you got plenty of storage, as well as your battery disconnect. So if you're storing this, you can hit it, twist it, that'll disconnect your battery from everything, keeping anything from draining voltage. However, if you are having it plugged in to charge it, this needs to be on. Light switch controls these lights up there. That switch right there. You have 3 switches. You have heating pads on your fresh, your gray, and your black tanks. Flip those on, that'll keep them warm. So if you're camping in the winter, they won't freeze up. Here, your auto leveling panel. So you just hit power, hit auto level. It'll go through its cycle. And you just let it go through its cycle. Just lowering the front a little bit. It does work with this too, your tongue jack. And then you'll see those ones will go down, and then the ones we saw on the back will go down too. then it'll do its thing. I just watch the panel as I'm going. It'll tell you what it's doing. It's lowering the front ones now, grounding front. When it is auto leveling, try not to be in there and moving around a lot. It'll throw everything out. And it'll just get confused as to what it thinks is level. You can see the other one has done it. It will retract your tongue to make room if it has to lower. And then when it's done, I'll just gently lower the tongue to make a 5th point of contact. Now it's grounding the rear ones, it's lowering the rear ones. They'll get snug and it'll do more of its leveling. And then it'll say auto level success when complete. We can quickly move on over here while we're waiting. Dual 30-pound tanks with an automatic changeover regulator. So it's pointing to this one. So it's going to pull from this tank first. Once it's empty, it'll automatically switch to pulling from this one. However, this won't move, indicating it has done such. So just keep in mind, you could be halfway through this one and you still think you're on this one. Coupe 24 RV marine grade battery. The only thing I recommend doing is in the winter, taking your battery out, storing it somewhere warm. That's going to keep the winter from just ruining the battery and making it so you have to buy a new one. Other end of the storage. Not much on this side. This is your computer, your brain for your in-command system, so there isn't anything you folks need to do here. However, there are some fuses for awnings and slides, so if you ever notice that your slide's not working, check one of these fuses. You're pre-wired for the turn signal cameras, so one on this side, one on the other side, and it just replaces this whole assembly, and you have turn signals. When you turn, they'll turn the camera on, and you'll be able to see what's next to you when you're turning. Moving along this way, do have outdoor power. It's GFCI protected. All your GFCIs are on the same circuit, and I'll show you where to reset it on the inside, as well as satellite and cable outlets outside. So if you wanted to have a TV out here, you totally could do that. And then it sounds like your auto leveling is complete. Yep, message went away. You're all auto leveled. So when you're ready to get done with it, hit down, go down to manual mode, hit enter. There you go. Hit retract. Hold retract, it's going to raise the rear ones. And then you do that. Hit retract again and it'll do the front ones. If you forget, all the how-tos are right on the panel for the door. And then we'll just keep going on. They do have 2 power awnings. Unfortunately, we're only going to be able to open one of them, but they both work the same. Come on into the inside. Your in-command control panel. Right now your password is just all zeros. If you want to change that, go to settings, passcode, enter the current passcode, then you could go change passcode or clear the passcode and type in whatever you want. You can mess with Bluetooth settings, date and time, brightness. First control you have here is HVAC. Front AC, you do not have a front AC, but you are pre-wired for one if you choose to have us install one. Hit over to rear AC. It'll let you cycle through modes. Right now we have the furnace running. It tells you what it is inside, so it's 63 inside and we have it set to 90. Since it is on auto, once it reaches 90 degrees it'll shut off and then it'll cycle on and off to regulate 90 degrees. The only source you have of heat is gas, so you can't really select that. If you want it to hit 90 and just keep going, you have fan speed low or high. I recommend just auto. You hit heat again, You had it on auto mode, so whatever you set it at, it'll decide whether it needs to do furnace or the AC. Hit it again, turn it off, hit it one more time. Fan, that's just going to run the fan. It's not going to turn the compressor on the AC or anything like that. Hit it again, turns it to cool. The cool goes all the way down to 55, I believe. And your furnace goes all the way to 90. Yep. So if you want it cold in here, you can have it you certainly can have it cold in here. We'll turn this off for now. We'll go back. You can control your lights from in here. So lights, bedroom lights, hit it. Bedroom lights turn off. Then you have ceiling lights that turns on and off your main ceiling lights. And then awning lights, hit it. It turns on the LED light strips on both awnings. You go to slides and awnings. You can control all your slides, your bedroom slide in there, in and out, kitchen, and dinette slide, which is that side. And then both your front and rear awnings. So we'll open up the front one now. Just hit out, hit and hold. It'll go out. These do not stop automatically. You will have to stop it yourself, and I'll show you when its stopping point is. Right when you see the flap start to appear and then you see the bare tube, you're all the way out. If you kept holding out, it'll roll in, but it'll roll in backwards. So keep that in mind. They are adjustable. You can grab these. A little bit more. Pull it down. You can pitch one end, so if it's drizzling a little bit, you can have rain one off to the edge. If it is storming, please roll your awning up. The wind will catch it and pull it away. And if you roll it in wet, as soon as it gets dry, roll it back out to let it dry out. Or else you'll have a buildup of mildew and mold in there. Same deal for your rear awning. That's the one on the slide out. You can control also turn on and off all your interior lights from the switch here. This will tell you what your battery voltage is at. It is always going to read when you're plugged in. It's always going to read that number, even with the battery in it or not. Water pump, hit that, turns your water pump on and off. You only need your water pump if you are pulling from your fresh tank. If you hook to city water, you don't need that on. Water heater, click that. You got modes, gas, electric, gas and electric. If you're on gas, it will cycle on and off, so you hear the burner turn on and off as you use more and more water. Electric takes a little bit longer to get hot, but it gets pretty hot quick too. Gas and electric is the fastest. You don't have to have it on all the time, gas and electric. You can switch back to electric once it gets warm. If you are going to use electric, make sure that switch I showed you on the water heater is the on position, or else this won't work. Go back. Monitoring panel. So fresh tank, that's your onboard tank. Black, you have one black tank. And then gray one. Gray one will be the bathroom. Gray 2 will just be the galley tank. It's the kitchen sink. Move to the bedroom. Get that knocked out. Carbon monoxide alarm, just like you want at home. It's got a 9-volt battery, so replace it when it starts giving the chirps. Plenty of storage. Emergency exit window. Pop it open. Push it out. It can lock like a regular window. If you need it for emergency, push this all the way out. Grab the screen, yank it off, and dive out the window. You got 2 USB ports here. That's another satellite and cable output, as well as an outlet, so you could have a TV in here as well. This side of the bed has outlets, 2 USB ports in that side, as well as outlets and 2 USB ports. You have the switch in here. These always look like they're on. They always stay in the down position because they're controlled by the in command, but that turns the lights on and off in here. You have a vent here that just cranks up and down as a vent, but it's wired for the AC. So if you wanted the AC, we can install one in here for you too as well. And then just plenty of storage in your closet with a light up in here. Just click it in the middle, turns on. That's pretty much it for the bedroom. You do have a little bit of storage underneath your bed for blankets and stuff. Bathroom's pretty simple. You have your light switch for in the bathroom here. You have that resettable GFI, so if any of the other GFIs trip, this is where you come in and reset it. Shower, pretty simple. Plenty of storage, medicine cabinet, toilet. As long as you're pushing this pedal, the toilet is going to continue to flush. And then you do have a fan vent in here. Turn it on. Just hit that switch right there. That turns it on or off. Kitchen area. So you have your fuse box. Click that open. You got all your breakers for your 110 appliances and all your fuses for your 12 volt. As you can see, you have 15s and a 10. I recommend keeping a box of spares just in case. To the left of that, you have a propane gas alarm. That's hardwired to the 12 volt system. There's no batteries where you have to worry about replacing. When that goes off, that means there's a propane leak. Calmly leave, shut your gas off, then you can come back in and investigate after it's aired out. Microwave works just like any other household microwave. It'll only work when you're plugged in. This is the vent I was telling you about. If that's running, make sure that flap is is open, or else it's not going anywhere. You do have a light, as well as a light here. Folded cooktop. So all you gotta do is you turn them on, twist the sparker, and the light burners, you can turn them all on at once and hit it. Lights them all 3. Down here, you have an oven. If you want to use the oven, you don't have to light it like the old school ones with a lighter. You still have to light a pilot. So you turn that to the flame, push and hold, and as you're pushing and holding it, turn your sparker, and then you look for the pilots to lit. Once it's lit, you can turn it to whatever you want. Once you're done, if you plan on using it again, you can turn it back to the flame. It'll shut the burners off, but leave the pilot on. If you shut it all the way off, it turns the pilot off as well. Your fridge, super simple to use. You have some controls. You're on auto. If this is all the way flush like that, it's on auto. If it's sticking out, it's on gas. Auto is gonna default to 110, so if it's plugged in, that's what it's using. If the campground you're at were to lose power and your gas were to be on, it'll automatically switch to running off of propane. These do not work like your regular fridges. They take about 10 to 12 hours to get to its operating temperature. Remote for your TV, right there. Plenty of storage for DVDs and such. Other side. Radio, power on.
Automatically restores your home's power.
Pretty easy. You have different zones. Zone 1's inside. You click it, you turn it off. It's just going to do the outside speakers. And then vice versa. Presets, push and hold to save presets. You have scan channel buttons, Bluetooth, your mode button. You have headphones. You probably won't ever use headphones here. You have an auxiliary port and then USB. And then your volume controls. You click it, you can mess with your sound settings. This is also a DVD player. It's not a HDMI DVD player, it just runs composite. But you can pop a DVD in there and then watch TV on your watch DVDs on your TV, and it will pipe the audio through your speakers in here. You do have a fireplace, so you can control it from here or from the remote. We'll show you from here. So you got power. You can change the color of the flame, a couple different options. Change the intensity of your heat, so high. Say what temperature it's at, and then you have a timer. There's a little screen indicating as such. You can turn it off from here. You can also hit the switch here, which turns it off there. Your TV does pull out, so you can adjust it so different people can watch it. As well, if you want access to plugging in a separate Blu-ray player or a game console. And then I always recommend strapping your TV down. We'll get it strapped down before you guys take it. It's strapped like that. Both sides of the couch you have outlets, USBs, both sides. And then your couch does turn into a bed. You just remove your cushions, just like that. Put them aside somewhere. And you lift up under here, pull up and out. Then these legs will fold down, and then that back part folds down that way to create a large surface. They're decently comfortable. I've seen some people put air mattresses on top of it to make it just a little bit more comfortable. Another light here. And another switch here. This controls the lights and main lights in here, just like the one in the bedroom is. Dual recliners. So you got massage and heat on both recliners, as well as little accent lighting and a USB port on both recliners. And then to recline them, you have a handle in here. It's hard to see. Little plastic handle. Pull up on it, lean back, and it reclines them. Dining area. Pretty simple. Each of these chairs flip up, have storage underneath, as well as straps to strap every chair down when you're traveling. And then an outlet over there. And then this switch is your dimmer. This is what dims, turns on and off the light. Just tap it, or tap and hold. It dims them. Pretty simple for your lights. One last little overview. And then that concludes your walkthrough on your brand new Cougar.